Who are the passive bystanders? As we know, at the type of accidents, some persons are trying to just inquire about the situation and simply saying to others, and they go by their own way. It means who do not act or do not intervene or do not interfere in that situation, that persons are called passive bystanders. Why these passive bystanders? Why the persons behave like that? Means there may be so many reasons. One is social influence. The person who is doing violence having some social influence, or the audience inhibition to do not habit to do not take that type of terminology, and fear of retaliation. It means some persons fear throw it. Why don't I interfere in these situations like that? And some persons see in the image, someone else will help. I'm going on my job. Someone will take this responsibility. Or I'm late for example, while I'm going to the school, I may thought like that. If I interfere in this situation, it will take 10 to 15 minutes and it will late for my work. So like that, some situations are there, some reasons are there, but by this reason, some persons may passive, do not intervene in that situation. And whenever we are discussing about the bystanders, we must keep in our mind about 5 D's. D. The weapons of active bystanders. What are those 5 D's? We will discuss later in detail. First one is distract. Second one is delay. Third one is delegate. Fourth one is document. And the last and final is direct. Okay. Let us see one by one in detail. First one, distract. What is distract? Imagine it's a subtle and safe way to intervene. The aim is to interrupt and derail the incident. Imagine if some violence is taking place. What is your aim? To just change over the topic. It means change the topic or derail the incident or divert the incident or distract. It means we are taking the main issue to the side. So what is our aim? To pretend to be lost. Ask for time or address of a place. It means when one person is taking violence and some person is victim, when we are the active bystanders, I will reach that person and ask, madam, what is the time now? Just we are inquiring about the time. What happens now? Who are doing the violence, that person stop the incident and they may wait for our exit. It means we are getting some time. So ask for the address, madam, what is the time now? And madam, I know about the, do you know or do we convey the address of this place, please? That means we are distracting the incident. Temporarily, the persons stop the violence and see this way of presentation. So pretend you know the person being harassed. You just ask. Actually, you don't know the victim, but you go on that person, madam, how are you? Are you fine? So many days we met. Like that, you just start your discussion. It means the persons who are doing violence, they may thought that, oh, this victim having so many persons, they may know about the so many persons. So let us stop the violence. Let us stop the incident. So that is our aim. We are distracting the incident. Talk something irrelevant and take the attention of the harasser. The person who is harassing about, to the victim, we just ask some questions about the harasser. Sir, where are you came from? I think you are very very new person to this place. I never saw you. Who is like that? Are you simply looking like my madam, or simply looking my sir who is in some Hyderabad, who is in Khammam, who is in Bhopal, like that. You just talk some irrelevant matter. It means we are distracting the harassers, distracting the persons who are doing violence, and the matter is side track. This is distract. Next one, delay. What is delay? One person is taking violence. Okay. So our aim is to protect the victim. So delaying can reduce the severity. For that, we are delaying the incident. Ask the victims if she is okay. Offer to accompany her to her destination or sit with her for a while. It means that person already feared, threatened by that person, that harasser. So she may need some help. So what we can do for her? Just you ask, madam, are you okay? It means she felt that some persons are behind me. She gets some confidence. Offer to accompany her to her destination. Madam, may I come up to your destination, or up to your office, or up to your home? Or madam, may I sit here for some time? Like that, we are building confidence in the victims. Or whenever we are talking to the victim or the person who is being harassed, what happened? The situation is delaying. The severity is reduced. So that delay is the second weapon of the active bystanders. But the third one is delegate. Delegate means to represent. Delegation is when you ask for assistance for a resource or for help from a third party. Means when some incident is taking place, we are taking a step forward and we ask for the third party, we ask for some other persons. It means whenever an incident taking place, so many persons, they may group it together. But by the so many reasons, they are not taking the active step. So you may ask the resource, what are you doing here? Some person is harassing her. We want to help her. Let us all together, we may protect her. Like this, you may take some assistance, you may take some delegation, you may represent the persons. If near a shop, ask the shopkeeper. It means when there is a shop, the shopper says, you are regularly, you are here only. Why not you stop? And why not you come forward to join us to protect the person? Like this, simply you are delegating, you are representing. If on a bus, ask to a co-passenger, bus conductor to intervene. If the violence, if the harassment take place in the bus, you just delegate to the other passengers or bus conductor. If possible, to stop the bus and bus driver. Sir, take some precautions, take some remedies to prevent this type of harassment in your bus. Like this. If you are in school, contact teacher for help. Even some students, active student harassing some other person, so you contact other teachers for help, your headmaster for help, your colleagues for help. Like this, you may delegate. By this delegate, the victim having some confidence that so many persons are with me. She may get some confidence. But by that confidence, sometimes she may fight against the harasser also. So delegate is a third weapon of the active bystanders. Fourth one is document. What is document? You are collecting some evidence. You are making some writing or digital or some other situations. See here. First, assess the situation. Do not directly enter into the situation. You first assess. So what is happening? You must observe the situation. You must assess the situation, and you may taking the total component into your keep in your mind. Is anyone helping the person being harassed? Sometimes what happened? Some person is harassing other. One or two members, they may helping the harassed persons also. Okay. Or some persons, they may start to protect the harassed person. So you just assess who the persons are with us. You first assess the person. If not, use one of the other Ds. So we are having 5 weapons. If this weapon is not possible, use another weapon. If someone else is already helping out, assess your own safety. For example, a person is harassing a lady or a girl. One or two persons already helping her in the situation. And now you assess your safety. So the persons who are active bystanders, the persons who are helping the victim, is there any threat from the harasser? You just assess your own safety also. Only if you are safe, then only go ahead and start recording the situation. You just, if not, if the situation is not assessed by you, simply you direct entered into the situation. When you recording the situation, what happened? The persons who are harassing, they may take direct attack on you also. So don't let the situation handle in their hands. If you are safe, then only go ahead and start recording the whole situation. Always ask the person who has harassed what they want to do with the record. First of all, you are having a crystal clear point that by this recording, what you may want to do with this recording. If this recording help to you or not. If it is help to them, you go on your work. Never post it online. Some persons having a good habit, they may share good things. Some persons have a bad habit, they may share everything whatever they want. Either them is good or bad, either there is a worse, either there is a comments or the comments against that person, like that. Some persons having some irresponsibly sharing it online. So never post it online. This is an incident. This is a video. If this is audio or a photograph, use an image or footage or a person being victimized without the person's consent may make the person feel even more depressed and can lead to a level of visibility that person may not want. Actually, the person who is harasser, that person do not want to post it online. But out of curiosity, some persons, they may do bad things like they may post it online or social media. What will happen? If it is going to the public, the person going to more shameful. So by that, maybe even more depressed. The victim may be more depressed. Or that person do not want this victimized. So don't share it online without the consent of the victims. Publicizing another person's traumatic experience is no way to an effective bystander. So do not share any victim's video, audio, or photo on the online. Okay. Next, last and final weapon, direct. Final weapon, direct. What is direct? Directly respond to harassment by naming what is happening or confronting the harasser. If one person is harassing other person, you go and directly ask, what is happening here? I want to know. Stop this type of nonsense. Like this, you may directly respond to the harassment. Okay. Or you are confronting, you are encountering the harasser. Stop this fellow. Stop this type of nonsense. Or otherwise, I will take the action. Like this, you may just threaten the person. This can be risky. The harasser may redirect their abuse towards you. And sometimes what will happen, actually, this point is very, very important. Sometimes what will happen? The harasser divert the incident to this situation too against you. Who are you asking like this? Like that, they may directly attack you also. It means when you are going to responding directly, you must assess about your own safety, security, and the strengths and opportunities about yourself. It may escalate the situation. Escalate means rapidly it is increasing the situation, going to be more critical. So because of this reason, with the confidence, you may respond directly. About you are responding, be clear and be confident and be cautious. Why be confident? Other persons who is going to harass the person, the harasser may observe your confidence and they may get back and they may set back. By that, you may having a confidence. Golden rule. What is the golden rule? And keep in your mind always. Only intervenes if it's safe for you to do so. It means whenever you are responding directly, whenever you want to respond directly, first of all, assess your safety. Imagine if you are also not safe, why are you going to interfere that? It means that the situation is more escalating, more critical, rapidly increasing. So don't do like that. If not safe, call the police. Call the police or the child helpline number. All of you aware of this child helpline number. What is the child helpline number? 1098. You may call it as like this also, preferable 1098. To remember easily, it means whenever our self-confidence is going to downwards, counter the numbers 10, 9, 8. Automatically, that is the child helpline numbers. 10, 9, 8 is the child helpline number. Or dial 100, as you know, emergency police services may respond to you. More ways to get involved. So many ways. Organize actions like writing stories, posters, and nukkad and natak, some type of plays and dramas, some art. It means to stop, prevent, to stop or to prevent the incidents, to prevent the violence, or to prevent such actions, or to change the mindset of the harassers. We may organize so many competitions, literary or dramatical art issues. And second one, appreciate someone practicing bystander intervention. If some person is actively bystanding the issue or arguing beside the victim, you just appreciate him. Don't see silently. Don't sit silently. You just appreciate the thing. Okay, sorry, we are also with you. If you know someone or some organization is working for it, donate your time and ideas. For example, Dheera is working for on this issue, violence against women. So, if possible, donate just your time, donate your valuable ideas. If they are useful for them, they may use it accordingly in the situation, according to the situation. So, whatever help from you, you just share your ideas, share your time, or share your feelings, share your appreciation, or share your actions like writing stories, posters like that. The wrong things to say. So never use these words. Victim blaming should never be done, never be done. Some issue is happened at the outskirts of the city, and someone says like that, blunder mistake. Why did she go at night? Why are you wandering at night? We are having so many jobs. We are having so many needs and requirements for our daily needs. We are going. By the time she also went for something. But don't ask, why did she go at night? Why did she park her scooter there? That is trouble. In that situation, what happened? That happened. But don't ask blame the victim. Why did she go alone? Have you got never alone? We are going alone in so many situations. We don't know that situation happens. But don't blame. Why did you go alone? Don't ask like that. Why did she call her sister instead of 100? Imagine in some fear conditions, in some threatening conditions, suddenly we may call to our near and dear, your friends and sister, mother and dad. We do not call number 100 for police in every time. It means we do not expect this condition to be serious. So never blame the victim. Okay, don't show sympathy. You just having empathy. They just think in the place of the victims. And this registration and pre-test, post-test certification will be already, I think, explained by the madam very clearly rather than me. So by this, courageous together. If any wrong mindset is there, you just correct it and say no to violence against women. And hashtag Dheera together. Let's tweet together. And building a voice. Our target is not 1 million, it is 10 millions. Okay. And your courageous voice to the conversation. So let us join hands for together and say no to violence and fight against the violence.
Thank you very much, Pravakar Reddy sir. That was a very elaborate description of the 5 Ds, which are the weapons of the active bystander. Students have been patiently sitting there since the last 1.5 hours. We'll go ahead with our next sessions and interact with the students again.
Okay. Let them pose any questions, madam. We will discuss, or otherwise.
Iman, can you see my screen?
Yes, madam. It's loading. Yes,
Good morning, students. I'm Dr. Sailija from Vijayawada. Today, I have come here as part of the Dheera program launched by Foxy President Dr. Santakumari Madam all over India. I'm going to tell you about bridging the gender divide. A reminder again for your post-test and feedback. Just like you did your registration and pre-test, do your post-test and feedback. After this session is totally completed, only then you'll get your certificate from UNICEF and Foxy. Okay. There are some names given here. Shiva, Nihar, Nayan. Who do you identify with these names? Are the names particular to a particular gender? Actually, since generations, it has been like that. But we should understand that genders are nothing but socially constructed concepts. It's wrong to say girls can only wear pink, only boys should be wearing blue. Anybody can have any name. The other day, my daughter was asking me, there was a name Venkat Ramana. That can be the name of a male or a female. We have a gen anesthetist with the same name, and I have the lady gynecologist with the same name. There's nothing like a particular name should be taken by a male or female. It's just for our social convenience. Look at these traits: being active, considerate, aggressive, creative. Do you really think only particular traits characterize a male or a female? That's not true. When a female can be aggressive and males can be considerate, females can be ambitious and competitive and independent. And please understand that males can also be emotional and express their emotions. Since time immemorial, there has been conditioning of these gender stereotypes. They are so built in our brains, ingrained in our culture, that we don't realize that it has become a habitual response. It comes automatically. We don't realize we are behaving with that gender stereotype. Like even in movies today, a hero will be a smuggler, will be having a violent behavior, that will be rewarded in a movie. That's not true at the ground level in real life. And parents usually are more likely to use physical punishment with sons than with daughters. They are more likely to tolerate violent behavior in boys. Like if a boy misbehaves, they don't say anything. But if girl misbehaves, they say, "You're a girl. Why are you behaving like that? You behave like a girl." And when girls show aggressive opinions or leaderships, they say that girls are being bossy. They don't understand that girls are being responsible and they have every right to air their opinions. These stereotypical rules restrict our personal choice and foster sexism, creating unequal outcomes. Every girl or boy should be having equal opportunity irrespective of their gender. Yes, gender bias is a social evil. In Indian society, do you know that even today, women are paid less than men for the same amount of work which they do? They're oppressed both officially and unofficially. Actually, this starts early at home, where girls are expected to do household chores, boys are not expected to do, girls are expected to behave submissively. They are told that you should not laugh loudly, you should not behave aggressively, you should not air your opinions openly. And when you must have seen your aunts or your mother, when they deliver, they go on a maternity leave. Many women are expected to leave the work permanently to raise kids. Why is that so? A couple has the joint responsibility to raise the kids. Even a male can share the responsibility. Even today, even in India, male babies are preferred over female babies. Like Jamna madam told you, babies, not even babies, even when they are a fetus inside the mother's womb, they are being killed simply because they identify in a scan that it's a female fetus. That's why the government of India brought the PCPNDT Act, where it is a crime for any person who is doing a scan to reveal the sex of the fetus. Workplace discrimination is common, where pregnant women are being fired from their work, and as I told you, there's a massive wage gap. And it's unfortunate that no woman is safe from sexual harassment like eve teasing and catcalling. In our Puranas, we call women as goddesses, but a small mistake from their side, why do they become unworthy of our respect? We don't want to be treated like goddesses. We want to be treated like humans on par with males. You should understand that. It's not a level playing field for females. Some countries don't give even voting rights for women. Indian women are fortunate that they are given voting rights. They have equal access to education. But in India, child marriages and dowry are still prevalent. Women are not given equal opportunities at work. And in a group, one man's voice is given more value than that of many women. Women have less access to financial resources at work and at home also. There's not enough representation for women in many fields, including politics and leadership. You can count on your fingers how many females have been our prime ministers or president or ministers at any level. We were given 30% reservation, but it's unfortunate that we are restricted to that 30% reservation. All the genders should be working together as allies to create a gender neutral, gender responsive and equal society, and we should be trying to eliminate gender inequality and bias. Gender-based prejudice is not an issue of one gender. It's not only girls who should be fighting against it. Boys, I'm telling you, it's not enough to not commit violence. You might think, I never misbehaved with a girl. How can I contribute to this? You must be willing to take these 8 active steps, which I'm going to elaborate, to ensure that no other men commit such violence. Number 1, How many of you, when you speak to your mother or somebody who is a homemaker, have said that ఏం పని చేస్తారు మీరు ఇంటి దగ్గరే ఉంటారు కదా మేము వెళ్ళిపోయిన తర్వాత మీకు ఏం పని ఉంది అని ఎంతమంది అడిగారు మీరు? One day you try to do the work which your mother does from the time she gets up earlier than any one of you and goes to sleep. After all of you go to sleep, you will understand how much of effort she is putting. Women take on thrice more unpaid care and domestic work than men. They spend their energy, their emotional labor at home, they sacrifice their interests, their hobbies, their careers, everything. They even forget looking after themselves. How many of you have seen your mothers eating after all of you have eaten? Have you ever bothered to ask the mom, you please come and sit with us and we eat together? We'll serve for ourselves. Why do you need to serve for us? Please appreciate your mother who is helping you, or any female, your sister is helping you unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, and respect the sacrifices being made for you. Whenever it is possible for you, you offer to help her. Encourage her to take up her own hobbies, go out, have some me time for herself, not spending all her time on you. Number two, it's not correct to say boys will be boys. They should be held accountable. They should be respecting men and women equally, and be aware of your own behavior. Make sure you're open to criticism and ready to correct yourself and change yourself when you see that you're going towards toxic behavior. Change the age-old notions of traditional masculinity. We don't agree today that man should not cry, man should be strong. Any person can have difficulties. Any person has a right to vent out their emotions, ask for help. They can be dependable. They can depend on somebody. Treat everyone similarly, regardless of gender, and allow yourself the freedom to break norms and challenge stereotypes. Question those people who do not allow you to challenge these stereotypes and do not excuse men just because they are men. Don't make the alpha male which is shown in the movies fashionable. Make the sensible male who respects his mother, respects his sister, gives equal opportunity to his wife to go ahead with her hobbies or her career, make them fashionable. Men also do cry, they do break down, they get anxiety attacks, they have emotions, and they feel insecure. And believe me, men also are abused. They have mental issues. It's not unmanly to struggle. So let us support men and encourage men. Let us not silence them. Sensitive men will be changing the next generation. Should be respecting others' choices. When somebody makes you uncomfortable, just question yourself, why is this happening? What's wrong? Whether the other person's thoughts or my thoughts are wrong. Examine your biases. Consider the circumstances that make your life different from others. It's not easy to understand a person's reaction unless you place yourself in their shoes and try to understand what they're going through. Please understand, every person on this earth has his own battle to fight. Be with them. Do not judge or shame them for their choices. And understand consent. Consent is when somebody asks you whether you are ready, you are okay with what they want, whether you want to say yes or no. When you want to say yes, that consent should be given freely, not under the influence of any alcohol, any drug, or any pressure. It should be reversible. Suppose a girl says, okay, I'm ready to come with you for coffee or a movie. She has every right to reverse that consent at any point of time. You have no right to ask her, you said yes, why are you going back? It should be an informed consent. You should enthusiastically give it and understand that a consent is given for that specific act. If she agrees to do combined study with you or come with you for coffee, doesn't mean she will come wherever you want her to come. Don't say she was asking for it. Why won't you? Boys will be boys statement is never acceptable, and as Sir said, never blame the victim. Point out sexism and harassment. All women experience at least once in their lifetime sexual harassment, and they experience sexism once a week. Point out such behavior in a safe, respectful manner. Tell them this is not okay. Be an active bystander. Use the 5 Ds. Help out the victim. Do not excuse friends, relatives, or co-workers when they are misbehaving. Challenge the gender stereotyping. Question your own prejudices and challenge any stereotypical notions like women are not good at driving. Women have gone until the space. How can you say women are not good at something simple like driving? Counter the argument with facts. Believe a survivor. Every time a woman speaks up about her experience and she is not believed, another victim will be scared to speak out and the toxic culture flourishes. So when you listen to a survivor story, believe them and support them, offer unconditional support. Even today, when we Google women should, it comes like women should stay at home, they should not work, they should be seen and not heard. How can you change this narrative? This we can do by making a gender neutral society. We're expecting a society where when we Google this, we do not get such statements. Look at this multitasking woman. When she can do multiple things at a time, she can do anything and be anything. A reminder again for your post-test and feedback, after which you'll get your certificate. And let us all reach the target of 1 lakh tweets by tweeting #Dheera together to say no to violence against women. After this, I'm going for my last topic, that is peer pressure. Anyone, you can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children. After I told you about the bridging the gender divide, what active steps boys can take to support girls or women, I'm telling you about peer pressure. What exactly is peer pressure? Reminder again for your post-test and feedback. You'll be sitting in a group in your school. You want to prepare for exams. Your exams are coming near. Somebody says, let's go for a movie. You don't want to go, but still you go with them. That's what is peer pressure. It can be any influence that peers have on each other to conform to a particular behavior or personal habits of that group. Most of the time, it is so subtle, you don't identify that there is peer pressure, but it has enormous effects. There can be many types of peer pressure, like outspoken peer pressure when they openly persuade another, come, we'll go to the movie. Or unspoken when they don't invite you, but you go because you think you'll be left out of the group if you don't accompany them. It can be direct when somebody hands over you a cigarette and asks you to smoke. Or indirect when you overhear somebody gossiping and you think tomorrow I don't conform to their group behavior, I'll also be spoken against like this in the group. People will speak badly about me. Positive peer pressure is always good, it's healthy and responsible. What we are worried about is negative peer pressure, where you're pressurized into behavior that is against your moral code. What are the signs? How do you identify a toxic environment? Look at this picture. Outwardly, it looks like that he's hugging her, but he's stabbing her behind the back. You should realize that you're in a toxic environment when your friends make you feel bad about yourself. Please understand, every one of you is a unique person. You have your positive qualities, your virtues. There are many things you can feel good about yourself, and you are brought into this world to achieve something of your own. When your friendship is on the terms of the group, not on your terms, that's a toxic atmosphere. You're never sure what your stand is. They're constantly gossiping about friends. You are trying to befriend them, stay close to them, putting a lot of effort, but the similar effort is not there from the other side. They don't respect your boundaries. They force you to do things you don't want to do. There's a competition to be popular in the group. And when you're scared that one step against the group behavior, they can leave you. They encourage your worst traits. That's when you should realize you are in a toxic environment and you should try to come out. How do you avoid these uncomfortable situations? Avoid going out with strangers. Don't go out with people simply because he is your friend's friend. You should be knowing the person well to be going out with them. And make sure your parents, your siblings, your family know where you are. They are the people who have your good at heart and will support you irrespective of anything. Take a phone with you. Just as you expect other people to respect your boundaries, you should be respecting others' boundaries. Draw your own boundaries and be confident to say no to anything you are not comfortable with. And if you feel you are in danger, don't hesitate to dial the police number. They're always ready to help you. It's not only boys create toxic environment and should be avoided. There are girls also whom boys should be avoiding. Like girls who think it's unmanly to cry or hit or slap their boyfriends, who are totally materialistic, call other girls by bad names, they don't respect physical boundaries, and they call you a girl thinking it is an insult. And they don't understand that men can also be victims of abuse and rape. Such girls should be avoided. And boys who are against feminism, who are rude to their mothers, they don't respect physical boundaries. They pressurize girls to send nude pictures, to start fights, use bad languages. All such boys you should be avoiding. Learning to differentiate the toxic environment is the first step to cleaning toxicity. So, what exactly is boundaries? Please remember, you are the most important person for yourself, and it should be like that. Put yourself first. Set boundaries that you are comfortable with. It should be like, I'll end this phone call if you don't stop shouting at me. Or I need to time to think about it. I'll get back to you. Or I can stay only for half an hour. I'll have to go after that. Or say, I don't respond to work emails at the weekend. That's my family time. Or I'm not comfortable with that. If you do it again, I'll have to leave. Be specific, be confident and strong, saying all this. Say, I'm not comfortable discussing this matter. Please do not discuss that matter with me. Or, I respect your opinion, but this is my life and my decision. Thus, by now, all of your teachers must have taught you what is good touch, what is bad touch. The only 100% good touch is handshake, which we are not doing during these COVID times. The areas in yellow can be touched by a person if you are comfortable with that person and you give consent. The areas in red over your chest and over your genitals, a strict no. Nobody has a right to touch them. Speak out whenever you feel uncomfortable. You have the power to say no. I previously told you about the concept of consent. It's permission for doing anything. Never assume consent. Always clearly ask for it and respect others' consent. And no means no. Those of you who have seen the movie Thing should understand a simple word NO means no. ఆడవాళ్ళ మాటలకి అర్థాలే వేరులే అనేది కరెక్ట్ కాదు. వాళ్ళు నో అంటే అర్థం ఓన్లీ నో. And yes is only when the consent is given freely, without any influence specific for that act. Stand up to peer pressure. Don't say maybe if you want to say no. Just leave the scene and say see you later, or make up an excuse, use a humor, or change the subject. But always remember to listen to your gut instinct and do what your mind tells you. Boys are never too young to respect women. We are dreaming of a better future for our future generations, where little girls with dreams become women with vision. Help us bring such a type of society. You know Malala Yousafzai, who fought for her education in spite of people trying to kill her. She said, I want every girl to know that her voice can change the world. Reminder again for your post-test and feedback. And a big thank you to all those who helped to collaborate on this project, Team Dheera, and the contributors to the material on the slides. And look how many people, how many artists contributed to these slides. A big thank you to all of them. And a huge thank you to your principal and teachers who motivated you to join this program, and for you who have been sitting since the last 2 hours patiently. Any one of you who wants to come forward and say what you felt about this program, or I would like one boy to come forward and tell me what are the 5 T's. Yes, anyone? Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. Something wrong? Iman?
Yes, madam.
Can you hear? They have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
unmute themselves, no? Saujanya
Yes,
garu,
ma'am.
please unmute yourself. Oh, they have logged out. School student, please unmute yourself. Five minutes. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, Hello.
Tell me what's your name.
My name is Lavan Prasad from Bystanders.
Your audio is not clear. Maybe you can come closer to the system and speak.
Ma'am, are we audible?
Madam, we can just hear that you're speaking, but the words are not clear.
Once again, top of the morning, ma'am. My name is Lavan Prasad from Bystanders. I feel that it's my absolute pleasure and
It's
honor.
still, Sriman, is it clear?
No, madam.
It's not clear, and we can't hear what the boy is saying. I think he can come closer to the laptop and speak. The laptop will directly pick up the voice. Iman, does this happen if they log in with multiple devices?
Yes, madam. They are close to the speaker, I think. So the reason.
Saujanya garu, if you have logged in with multiple devices, you just log out of one device, then the voice will be clear.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. 1 second. Come here now. Here.
And before the student comes forward to speak, let me tell you, we have put up the link for the post test in the chat box. Some teacher can copy that and paste somewhere in your WhatsApp messages or your SMS messages. Through that link, the students can do the post test and feedback.
Excuse me, sorry for the audible.
No, even now it is not clear. No, if you're logged in with these two devices with the names Mahesh and Saujanya, you log out from one device, the voice will be clear.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible now?
Yeah, Sajini Garu, you are speaking.
Yes, ma'am. I'm speaking now. Is it audible to you?
Better than before.
Am I audible, ma'am? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, madam. Yes, ma. You come in front of the camera.
Yes. Is it perfect?
What's your name?
My name is Lahan Prasad from grade 10.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
feel absolutely honored and it's my deepest pleasure to be a part of this seminar. With almost 500,000 students and 36,000 doctors and teachers, I feel that we have become the voice of the unheard and we feel that we can share the message of gender discrimination, etc. as social stigma. And I feel that educating millions of youth, especially teenagers, now and today, we can be a change for the future generations. As you have told, sensitive men and men without toxic masculinity can be the change of the generations. I highly agree with that. We've also learned that gender discrimination is a part of the social stigma which has been continued since the dawn of mankind. And I feel that this generation should be able to put a full stop to it and start the era of equality. We've also gone through peer pressure and a curse disaster because I think that this is a very much needed topic today, especially for us who are constantly indulged in cutthroat competition. We've also gone through different sections of the Indian penal codes and we've also learned 5 defense mechanisms if we are active bystanders. This seminar has also given us a sense of appreciation for all the active bystanders here and it also given a sense of an array of hope for everyone who have gone through gender discrimination. I feel it's a beam of hope and a ray of hope, especially from active bystanders. And I think that this also warns all the passive bystanders for their indulgence in hypocrisy. I also feel that this seminar gave me a part of the greater meaning of a poem by Jeev Patel, who is an Indian author, on killing a tree, where the essence of the poem is not killing the main thing, but actually uprooting the root cause. And I feel that this platform has given us the causes of the root and has given us ways in which we can pluck out the root cause. And I feel that from this generation, with all my peers, a new generation will begin, a new era of happiness and peace. Thank you so much.
That was great. As Jamuna madam said, I think we have hit the mark. And it's good that boys are coming forward and speaking. You will be the ones who will be changing the society. Yeah, ma, go ahead.
A pleasure morning, one and all. I'm Shrestha of 10th Aristotle, and it's a great honor to be a part of this seminar. First of all, thank you very much, Dheera, for enlightening us with this meeting as we live in a world where every 1.5 minutes, a crime against women, and every 4.5 minutes, domestic violence against women, and every 15 minutes, a woman is getting raped, and also the chances of a woman getting raped is 1 in 6, and almost 1 in 10 women are marital raped. So with all these things in the world, thank you so much for conducting this meeting and enlightening us. And starting with Jamuna ma'am, thank you so much for explaining about the types and the roots of the violence against women, and also more importantly, the sections and like the 354A, the 526(1) and the 503(1), and also about the acts like the Nirbhaya and the Domestic Violence Act of 2005, and also the helpline like All India One and the child line. Because there are a lot of victims in this world who are suffering right now, but are not brave enough to ask for help or even fight for the change. And next, thank you, Prabhakar sir, for explaining, for teaching us about the active bystanders. If we take example of an American a real life incident where in a Texas train, a woman was raped for 6.5 minutes, and everyone was watching her, and no one asked for help or stopped it or even called the police. So it shows the importance of an active bystander there. If there was one active bystander at that place, it would have saved the woman from the depression and all the psychological problems she's going to face later. And thank you, sir, for explaining how the importance of an active bystander. And next, thank you very much, Shailaja ma'am, for explaining about the sexism and the gender discrimination and everyone, like husband and the wife and the children should share the responsibilities, and also that names have no gender and things that people should do and not do. And I would like to conclude by once again thanking the Dheera program, because you've given a great message that we need all the genders to come together to fight for change. So let's fight for the change. And also a quote by Karl Marx, where he said that we can judge the social progress of the world by the progress of the woman. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Dr. Santa Madam would be proud to listen to you. This recording is going to her and this recording is going to UNICEF. You made us proud today. Thank you, Saujanya Madam. Thank you, Narayan sir. And thank you to all the students. Yes, ma'am. Saujanya Madam, please.
Yeah, ma'am. Few students are interested to share their views and how they have got engaged with the section. They want to share their views. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to be a part of this Dheera program. As a girl, it really helped me to know a lot of stuff. Like I got to know about this symbol, and I also got to know about the child helpline 1098. I'm sure if not for me, it will be helpful for anybody in the future. We've also got to know about a lot more stuff, and very sure it's going to help us. And coming to the stereotyping, I'm sure most of the people they got stereotyped. I've heard teachers and a few teachers in my other school, they told me stuff like, I'm going to ask you this question because you're a girl and you might not read newspaper. Boys read newspaper, girls don't read newspaper. I've heard people tell this to me, and I've also heard people tell this to me and few of my friends, like, you're a girl, you can't go out, you can't do this. In our society, there are a lot of people. Like when you see a girl earns a lot and spends a lot of money, usually the people around her, the surroundings, they start to get the feeling like, oh, maybe her parents are very rich. And when a boy and a guy, when they earn a lot and when they buy expensive stuff, people like, oh, he must be really hardworking. There is a lot of gender stereotypes, and this Dheera program, not only for women, it also helps men to how to be an active bystander and how to make sure that nobody in your surroundings is facing any violence again. Really helped me, and I'm very thankful to the Dheera. It helped me a lot. Thank you so much.
Great response from the students. And thank you to all the students for patiently sitting here and listening to us. Yes, ma'am.
Namaste, all. I'm Sriram from 10th Psychologist. First of all, I want to thank all my teachers and Dheera for sharing this massive knowledge to us and gathering this big knowledge. And I also want to thank all my teachers for coordinating with Dheera for us and thanking to Dheera for taking time for us. Ma'am, after reading your speech, I will for sure ask to encourage my mother or my sister to build up hobbies or anything. And I also learned that consent is really important to ask someone not including the gender discrimination. And thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for that courageous opinions. Thank you, sir, Narayan sir. Thank you, Saujanya madam.
I would like to say something, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all, I thank you and Dheera team on behalf of DPS Warangal family. Uh, it's all about gender sensitization. That if we treat a boy in such a way, we should treat our girls also in the same way. This discrimination has created this gulf in our mind. And that is because of all these problems, what we have discussed is happening. When we look at the social issues these days, still women don't have the place it should have been. Secondly, economic. You may have one, two or big names to take, whether it is Indra Nooyi or other people. And politically, our situation is the worst. The representation in the parliament, when you see the parliament sessions, you hard to find the women where they are sitting.
Yes.
Issue is they are less than 10% of the total parliament members. But I believe program like this will make the sense in the mind of the coming generation to make a big change. And I wish you all the best.
Thank
It
you,
was a
sir.
wonderful program. It was a wonderful program. Thank you so much for our family member, Madam Sojanya, and all the students and all the Dheera team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It was our pleasure. Thank you, Narayan, sir. Thank you, Saujanya, madam. Yes, ma'am.
I'm here to express my views and opinions.
Go ahead.
This is Aryan from 10th Aristotle. And
I can't hear anything.
This is Aryan from 10th Aristotle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to thank you for taking your time to enlighten us with such information that it will not only influence us to make change, but also teaches us on how to make change. It has given a true hope for us that we are the future of the society, and that we can make an influence in how people think and observe. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And do remember to do your post-test and feedback, which the link is there in the chat box. Yes, madam.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Malati Govindas. I'm the headmistress here. Actually, I also have been doing some programs on good touch, bad touch with the lower classes, because I think this education should start at the age of 5. We have to tell the children from that age how they have to keep themselves safe, because these things happen not outside the family. Most of the cases, when we analyze, we find the family members are involved. The family members are the ones who abuse the children. So now this is an age group of 16 where we talk about peer pressure and learning to say no. So this is the second or third stage where we educate these children. So very good program, excellent program.
Thank you.
Really great effort, especially all the slides you had put in and all the contribution of your artists. Everything was so picturesque that children could understand by seeing these things. So it was really great program, ma'am. And important thing you had touched was it is not only the girls, it is the boys also who are sexually abused, but it goes unnoticed. Neither the family members are ready to listen, nor the society. Even if you go to the police with a complaint, so I don't think so most of the cases are registered. So we have to become a little sensitive, and we have to encourage our boys also that yes, you have to be careful. Because what happens when a girl goes, if the whole society is there to help them. Everyone is ready to listen to them, but when it comes to boys, they are vulnerable. They are the most vulnerable part. So somewhere down the line, they have their own frustrations, and then it takes up a different thing in their future life. So this program was really important for us to educate the children. So thank you from our family, ma'am, Warangal family. Thank you very much.
Totally agree with you, and we appreciate that you felt good about this program. Hope it brings the change we are expecting in the boys and the girls. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you, Narayan sir, and big thank you to the students.
Thank you, Shanita.
Yeah. Please do copy the link which is there in the chat box and paste it somewhere and keep it. Through the link, you can do the post test and feedback, after which you'll get the certificate. And this PowerPoint presentation will be sent to your school mail ID. It can be run any number of times to the future batches also. Thank you very much. We are closing the session, Sriman.
Thank you. Yes, keep standing. Yes, shake your legs. Sir, please do some activity. See what sir is